Hello, welcome again to our topical solution series on IGCSE at Maths 0606. In this video, we're going to look at the topic on permutations and combinations. And the questions that we have picked to solve in this video is taken from February-March 2019, paper 22. Let's go directly to the question. Well, it is located at question number 1 and total marks is 3 marks. Okay, let's read the question. A band can play 25 different pieces of music. From these pieces of music, 8 are to be selected for a concert. Well, as we approach this topic as a quick revision, let's bring to our mind what are the tools that will be available for us to work around. First of all, we know it is the factorial. Well, what and when is factorial going to be used? We know that factorial is used when we have a X number of distinct items and with no limited of choices, where all these X items, you have the liberty to lay them out all at one time. So at that occasion, we talking about how many types of arrangement that you can go about in arranging all these X numbers of items. And the second type is when we have the number or symbol or alphabet letters where the arrangement of each of these matter. What it means is that you probably have 5 choices, but out of these 5 choices, you are supposed to choose, for example, 3 of them at one time. And you are asked to work out from these 5 choices, how many ways of arranging 3 at one time. So for that scenario, we will choose permutation, where in your calculator, you will see the key NPR. Well, the third and also the last tools that we're going to use is combinations. In your calculator, key display as NCR. And when are we going to use that? It is when you have, let's say, 7 choices, and out of these choices, you are at each time allowed to pick only 5, for example. You are not allowed to choose all the 8 at one time. You are only have to choose 5 at each time. Then you notice that you will have to select out of these 8 choices. Each time you are only allowed to take 5. And in this case, it is rather similar to permutation, but this time the order doesn't matter. And what does it mean is that whether you put 3, 5, 1, 6, 2, and 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, it doesn't matter how the order you put it. Okay, for that, you will use combination. Well, that's the quick revision over the 3 options of tools that you are going to use to work out the possible number of ways of arrangement or the possible number of security codes or the number of choices or combinations of things. Okay, with that quick revision, let's go and approach this question. As the question stated that a band can play 25 different pieces of music. That shows us the band has the choices of 25 music. So they can pick from 25 choices. And out of these 25 choices, they are not going to play all the 25 music all at one time. But for each time, they are supposed to pick only 8 choices for a concert. So in summary, this is what I have written out for our attention. From choices, 25 choices, to choose 8. Okay, that is the scenario that's presented before you. Let's approach section 1. Find the number of different ways this can be done. For this question, we have worked out our mind that the order of the choices, music 1, music 2, music 7, the order of the music doesn't matter. Therefore, we know that we're going to go for combination. Now, as I've noted down here, the calculator, if you notice that here is going to be N, and you have a C and you have an R. Well, what does the N and the R means? The N is the number of choices you're going to choose from. And the R, what does it mean? It means out of the N choices, you have to choose only N item each time. Therefore, we put it there, from C choose, to make it simple for our understanding. Back to the scenario of this question. From 25 choices, and each time or each concert, the band is going to choose 8. Therefore, we will just directly substitute with the idea from 25. And then to choose 8 each time. Well, just that was really direct and no condition was set for the band. Then we may go to the calculator, punching the key of 25C8, and it will display for you 1,081,575 ways of choices the band can go about. Now, let's continue the question. Stated here, the 8 pieces of music are then arranged in order. Well, please note, is there any limitation imposed for the choices of these 8 music? Can they display all the 8 music at one time? Or they have to limit themselves from the 8 and choose only certain number out of that 8? Yes, you have observed it right. They do not have any limitation. In other words, out of these 8 pieces of music, the band can just at any time play the 8 pieces of music in the manner of different arrangement or different order. Therefore, we know for this case, we can go for factorial. Okay, yeah, because for each time, all the 8 music can be allowed to play. They do not have to restrain themselves to choose only 3 pieces at one time. Yes, therefore, if you note, I have written here, from 8 pieces, they can arrange the 8 in any order at all. Therefore, you can choose factorial, putting in 8 factorial, or you can choose from P to the choose or NPR. Yes, and you will notice from 8 choices, each time they can choose 8 music all together. And when you punch the calculator, you will find that either you key in as 8 factorial or you key in as 8p8, you both times obtain the result as 40,320 arrangements. Okay, now we move on to the third scenario. It's mentioned here, the band has 15 members and 3 members are chosen at random to be treasurer, secretary, and agent. Okay, here just have to be a little bit careful. Do not take for granted that since it is dealing with people, and I will go for combination. And also, do not take for granted just because code, password, security is not mentioned and you will hop and conclude as combination. Okay, so for this case, it is unique because the order of the selection, treasurer, secretary, and agent. Different people hold the position of treasurer, make the complete difference of the committee. Therefore, for this case, even though no passcode, security, or any kind of those words were mentioned, and even though it is dealing with people, but for these choices of committee members, we are going for permutation. Okay, then now we look at from how many choices there's going to contain for the 3 positions, and then they're going to choose 15 from the 15 members. They're going to choose 3 positions at each time. And we want to find out how many different ways that these 3 positions can be filled in. Well, that's how we have carefully noted that we're going to use not factorial, not combination, but permutation. And we're going to use NPR, where you have from 15 members. You're going to choose 3. And with a slight keying into the calculator, and it will clearly display for you 2,730 ways. Okay, so that's how we have run through a quick revision on this topic in the beginning of this video. And we have gone through the explanation of our thought flow and our analysis of the question. And I will surely hope and wish that you will be able to overcome any kind of hidden tricks or any kind of twist around in questions in this topic, and without difficulty, you are going to get full marks each time. Well, we have come to the end, and also it's time to say goodbye. Well, before we do that and end the video, I would always love to wish you happy learning and see you real soon. Bye-bye.